In life, sometimes we have many challenges, and sometimes it's very hard to deal with the stress of those challenges. So, some individuals sometimes go to other things, such as drugs, alcohol, and different things to try to suppress what they're experiencing. Today, we're going to speak to some individuals who have followed some different paths in life, and we're just going to walk through and see how that goes.
Yes, the people been asking, the people been waiting. They've been wondering, guesstimating and speculating. They've been sitting back wondering what I got in my head. But they know that I've been grinding and stacking my bread. You can take a seat while I take a bow, 'cause the princess is here about to lay it down. Oh.
Our first guest today will be speaking with Antoine. Welcome, Antoine.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, you looking sharp there, Antoine.
Thank you.
So, Antoine, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, 48 years of age.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I come from a family of 13 brothers and sisters. I'm the youngest boy of 6. There were 7 girls. Never needed a key to the front door. Someone was always home.
I'm sure.
Always home. Didn't need any friends. Family stuck together, was real close in school. I even was in the same class with one of my sisters.
Oh, wow, I'm sure. There's a lot of y'all.
Yeah, we had no trouble on the block.
Okay. You said, I'm going to get my brother or my sister.
Oh, yeah.
They all had your back, huh?
Yeah. But there was still an emptiness.
Okay.
And with all the surroundings and everything, there's still something that felt like it was missing in me. And I found it in alcohol.
Alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when did you have your first drink?
I'm 48 years of age, 1975, at my brother's wedding, my oldest brother's wedding.
Okay, so how old were you?
I was 8 years of age.
8?
Yeah.
You were not 8. You were 8?
Yeah, well, back then, I guess they still do it now. They had the big punch bowl in the middle of the wedding, and it's all pretty, and the cups and the dipping thing.
So you didn't really know.
I was on my 3rd run before my mother realized that I was dipping into the wrong bowl, and she said, "No, baby, no." And she handed me a Pepsi, and that was my first drink.
Wow. And so, do you remember how you felt?
Yes, I did. Exactly. To the letter. I threw up. Seemed like forever. But afterwards, I came back in, and it was like everything was magical. I loved it.
You loved
I knew it. I knew it right away.
Oh, wow. And that was at the age of 8.
At the age of 8.
Wow. That's crazy. And so, because you were 8, when were you able to get your next drink? So when exactly did that happen?
It wasn't long after, because I was the youngest of 6 boys, and my older brothers, they ran the streets, and everything was at your disposal. I mean, it was nothing to see a bottle in my house just sitting there in a paper bag, so you snuck around and got your sip.
So it sounds like you grew up really fast.
Very fast.
Yeah, because I couldn't imagine at the age of 8 or 9 or 10 or even 11, like, you know, taking that first sip of alcohol and being like, yeah, I want this. So you had to have matured really, really, really fast.
Very fast.
Yeah.
Very fast.
Okay, so tell me, you know, what else happened after that? When did you possibly begin to have a drinking problem? I would guess it would be a problem at any age, just under 21.
Yeah.
But when did you begin to really abuse it?
Well, I felt like it was so many of us that you would think you wouldn't be lonely, but you didn't get enough attention. So I gravitated toward alcohol and cigarettes, like a lot of people back then in the 70s.
Mhm.
And I believe cigarettes was 35 cents when I, so that's kind of put you back where I was coming up there. Newports weren't even out yet.
No, really?
We was still smoking cool.
Cool? I
Yeah,
know
pack
nothing about
last
it.
year about 3 days back then.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, that's how strong they were.
Mhm.
But I just loved it. It didn't take long. 9, 10 years old, I was looking for it.
Mhm.
I mean, even if they were hiding it, I was looking for it. And it just started getting easier and easier. The taste started getting not so nasty.
Mm. So so that was when you were finding it and looking for it.
Yes.
So how old were you when you got your first job?
Well, it was a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Before you got your first job?
Yes.
Because I'm wondering, the reason why I'm asking is trying to figure out, so when you were able to purchase it yourself, how did that go?
Well, the laws weren't so, they were very loose back then.
Mm-hmm.
Put it like that. The laws weren't so strict back then. You could go to any most store and say, my mother said to get me this.
Right. I mean, when you actually had your own money to
Well,
easily purchase.
Well, it didn't take long because I grew up fast on the streets and I did hustle.
Okay.
I hustled a lot. And I took to it and it was nothing for me to run up North Avenue and get a 4-finger lid of marijuana for $25, run back down the hill and flip it, and you made your money like that.
Okay. And did you ever start to use anything else other than alcohol, or was alcohol pretty much the only drug of choice?
Alcohol was my love. I tried some things, but it wasn't my niche.
But alcohol was it?
Alcohol numbed me. It took me away. It did everything. It solved all the problems.
Mm-hmm. Well, you thought it solved all the problems.
It certainly did.
So how did your abuse of alcohol, how did it affect your relationships in your life? And how did it affect you?
Well, it certainly King. They don't call it King for anything. It's the #1 killer in the world. Mm-hmm. Some may think not. Some may think violence, murder, and other things, heart disease, and so on and so forth. But alcohol is the #1 killer in the world. Right now we have 330 million people in this country. 130 million of them are potential alcoholics.
So how much did you drink when you were really drinking a lot? Like how much were you drinking at that time, and what were you drinking?
At a young age, I started off with everybody knows Wild Irish Rose. It's called Richards. Richards? Yes, ma'am.
Do you know the percentage on that? Because I have never heard of that.
It was about 20%, but 20% back then was like 40%
okay, so
now.
they changed
so it
the
was
alcohol.
very strong. I mean, it dyed your inside.
Okay. And how big did you buy?
Well, you all start out with a pint, you and your boys, and it goes around and goes around until you get right and you get them tearing stuff up. And then it's...
Tearing stuff up?
Yeah.
What do you mean by tearing stuff up?
Busting windows and...
Oh, so alcohol made you bust windows?
Yes.
What else did alcohol make you do?
Alcohol, it took a quiet person like me and made me had violent episodes.
Did you get arrested?
Yes, I have a long history of arrests.
Okay.
I have about 8 years behind bars.
Oh, wow.
Incarceration.
And you would say that was because of your...
The direct result of alcohol.
Wow. So what did it cause you to do? So I know you said bust windows. What were some other things that...
Well, I did a whole list of illegal things. I wasn't able to commit to a relationship. I was abusive to the women in my younger life. coming up as a teenager. No respect, womanizer, didn't care anything about their feelings. It was just about me. And you don't really know that you have a problem. Everyone else can see it, but you're looking in the mirror saying, I'm okay. But since this thing is legal, it's very cunning, baffling, and powerful. That's what they say about it. It's very cunning, baffling, and powerful. And I can remember when I finally did say enough is enough, and I can't stop, and I asked the God of my understanding for some help to stop. I realized that I couldn't do it by myself.
Oh, wow.
And it was the bottom of the barrel. I was on my last leg. My wife, she told me one night she plugged the iron up, and she was thinking about
Burning you with it?
burning, scalding me on my face with it. So she woke me up, and
She's angry.
the next morning she was very angry. I think I cussed her out, and I didn't really know it because you get these blackouts and you don't remember it all. You remember sections of it. Like you might can remember leaving the house, getting in the car, turning the ignition. You don't remember going into the store or how you got back home. Then you may open the door the next morning and your car is on the pavement.
So at what point did you decide, enough is enough, when you decided to ask God to help you through this?
What really kind of did it for me was I was what you call one of those smart alcoholics. I would have my 2-year-old in the back seat, strapped in the seatbelt and everything, and would drive up to the bar and park the car in front of the door just so I could be able to see him while I was purchasing my drink. So at the same time you're coming out, taking it to the head, and then starting the engine and pulling it off. What's so smart about that? But through the grace of God, my God, if anybody doesn't believe in Him, you cannot do this by yourself. I wanted to stop so bad. So bad. So I had nowhere else to go. I don't remember getting down on my knees, but I prayed that if there is a God, if you are real, I don't want to lose my wife. I don't want to lose my family. I don't want to lose my life. If there's something that I was put here on earth to do, please come and save me.
I love your love for God. So tell me about now, because it sounds like you definitely, you're loving up on God, and it sounds like you're keeping Him.
Oh, yeah.
You're keeping Him close, And so tell me about now. Now that you got to that point, you're like, I'm over it. And how long have you been, no longer using alcohol? And what is life like now?
The funny thing is, in 1999, I had stopped drinking for 11 years.
Wow.
And 2010, we had this big snowstorm. And you know how you run out and get the toilet paper, the food, the water, and everything. And here comes this thought, this cunning, baffling, powerful. That's what king alcohol is. Here comes this thought in my mind, why don't you go get a little bottle of wine? You're going to be stuck in the house with your wife for 4 or 5, God knows how long. And I love my wife, but a week is too long. that.
I understand.
I may pay for that. But I don't know where it came from. And they tell you that it really never goes anywhere. It's suppressed. So that's why you have to, through prayer and meditation, continue to do inventory of yourself. You ask the God of your understanding for knowledge and clarity, and you praying just for that, for His will to be done. Because this thing you cannot do by yourself. I'm sure the other addictions are just the same. And I finally found out I had a calling on my life. As you go through the Bible, it's a lot of prophets and people in there that didn't do anything, or just the opposite. They did things and they went through things for the glory of God. Now I'm a called, answered, ordained, and anointed deacon in the body of Christ.
Amazing.
So what I do is I share my experience, strength, and hope. I'm a responsible father now. I take my son to school every day. I wash him up. I pick him up. I'm a established, certified chef. I've worked in many places. I worked at Towson University. I worked at T. Rowe Price. I worked at all kinds of establishments. Cooks for thousands and thousands of people every day.
I love it.
I'm trying to work on getting my own restaurant.
Okay.
Soon, and very supportive wife. I encourage her to go to Al-Anon classes. That's classes for people that related to people who have problems. See, they went through that with you. See, whatever. Yeah. Although they didn't partake in it, they were a part of it. So the abuse, whether it was physical, and it wasn't very physical with me, but it was verbally. I did get very hostile verbally. I took a custer from A to Z, put it like that. And they don't know that they are affected right along with you. So I try to encourage her with that. I try to encourage her. We go to church and we stay prayed up, and we just try to build on how God has turned our lives around.
What church do you go to?
Cornerstone Community Christian Church.
And where is that located?
It's 2713 Kirk Avenue.
Kirk Avenue in Baltimore?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm very amazed by your story. And I thank God for what He's doing in your life.
Oh, yeah.
And
He's amazing.
And I do hope that, I trust and believe that you will be opening your own restaurant.
Oh.
If God can see you through all of this, He can definitely give you the desires of your heart.
Definitely.
And I also pray that even with your wife and those who are attached to you, the same way that He brought you out, I believe that whatever lingers and that the enemy tries to use to confuse their minds about what has happened, that they will come out of it as well.
It's nothing too hard for God.
Nothing's too hard for God. And so as long as you keep them in that environment and you keep on growing close to God, I believe that it's only the best is yet to come.
It is written. It is written.
And now we have Robert.
You can call me Bobby Kelly.
Hey, Bobby.
How you doing?
Good, good. Nice to meet you.
Same here.
So, Bobby, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the oldest out of 8. I'm 59 years old.
You are not 59 years old.
Yes, I am.
You cannot be 59 years old.
Yes, I am. Only through God's grace and mercy, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I understand that so well today.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I promise you, you don't look 59. That means you'll be 60 next year. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I will be 60 next year.
So, Tell me more about yourself.
Well, I'm one of them guys that started out in life on the wrong side of the tracks. I can go as far as back as the age of 14. My father passed away, and not long after that, I was off to the races.
Oh, wow.
And I knew at the time of his death that I was going to be in trouble. I just felt it, you know. I wanted to do things my way, and my way got me in a lot of trouble. So it started out with the drinking and using the alcohol, pills, drugs, and that lasted for over 24 years.
24 years?
Yes.
So let me get this straight. You were abusing alcohol, drugs, and different things of that nature.
And whatever you had.
And whatever we had. And for 24 years,
yes.
And God has preserved you like this.
Nothing but His
That
grace
is
and mercy.
amazing. That is amazing. And so, tell me a little bit. So you went from alcohol, and so that wasn't getting it.
Well, you know, I'm one of those people that I think that marijuana and alcohol wasn't a gateway drug for me. You know, and I say that because when I used them, I wanted more. You know what I mean? I wanted more.
It wasn't maybe the original feeling that you got. It was like, now it's not enough.
I'm
so
chasing for
more.
the next 24
I need
years.
the next high.
Exactly. And so I started out with the alcohol and the marijuana, and then shortly after that, the pills came into play.
What kind of pills?
Downers, you know,
Downers.
yeah, we call them Christmas trees.
Christmas trees.
Yellow Jacks, yeah, that's how far back I went.
I wonder what made them call it a Christmas tree. Because
Well,
like when you get Christmas tree, you're happy, like
you're very happy.
Christmas tree, a Christmas tree. Okay.
You know,
And-
so I dipped and dabbed in the downers and the acid. You know, the acid was very popular in the days I had come up in. So I played with that, the window pane, and I just was willing to try anything that took me away from myself. You know, so I guess at the age of maybe 16, I started living a life of crime, stealing, you know, minor petty things, stealing. I had a manslaughter charge at age 16.
Wow.
Thank God it was an accident, but people try to, you know, make it seem like it was more than that. And I guess that helped with me using to try to suppress that feeling. And I started using the heroin. And I tell people, I went in the alley, you know, maybe in 1975. When I came out, it was 1993. That's how I felt.
That's how I
you know
felt,
what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, my life is just a roller coaster up and down. I was a fortunate drug dealer in the fact that I always had a job, you know, and people generally liked me. So that kind of helped me get to where I needed to be. Everybody I associated my lifestyle with was dealing in drugs in one form or another. So I hung with people that did the same things that I did.
Same thing you did.
You know, that's what I did.
Makes it easy.
Yes. I mean, and then to be the oldest out of 8 kids, I wasn't the one to set an example.
Right.
I just wasn't, you know.
So how did it actually affect your family?
Well, I guess they would lose trust in me, you know, and certainly respect. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, you know.
And your relationships?
Most of my relationships was involved around drugs. I never had a woman that used, but I mean, I get my pleasures from them, you know what I mean, here and there, but it was about the getting in the using for me.
Okay, so you never was able to really stay in like a relationship while you were in the midst of that?
Not really.
You didn't desire it because you desired
variety of other things, you know. I had a child at the age of 18, you know, and things went south so soon after that, but between him and his mother, him and his mother, me, the parent and I.
The parent, okay.
Yes. And like I said, we just off to the races. You know, I robbed, I cheated, I stole, and
how did it affect you as far as being a parent? Like, how did your son feel about you?
Well, I kept him with me most of the time, so he's seeing me kind of high. He lived with me up until he was 18, and I think that has an effect on his life today. You know, he struggled with alcohol, but all I can give him is what got me through, and that's God.
So I do hope that, you know, as long as you share that with him, that'll be his motivation to let him know that, you know, you don't want this life.
Right, and you know, you could talk to people until you know, blue in the face, and they never get it. And sometimes they don't get the message because of who's giving the
it,
message.
because you say, well, you did it,
Exactly.
and you're fine.
So
yeah.
with my son, I just try to lead by an example today.
Okay.
You know.
So did you get arrested? Did you?
Several times.
Several
you
times.
know, shoplifting. Later on down the road, I started carrying guns because I sold drugs, things of that nature, and I recall getting locked up for some armed robberies I had did with some stores, and everything was a joke to me up until that point, you know. And I stayed locked up for like about 9 months. They offered me 15 years, and then things got real.
Yeah.
Things got real.
Not really. Then you was like, wait a minute.
God, if you get me out of this one, you know.
I was just about to ask you when did God knock you on your hind parts?
Right then and there when they say they offer you 15 years, you know. And I have to say this, 6 of the guys that were with me, you know, we had a good 2-3 month run of robbing stores and people. 4 of the guys are dead today as a direct result of our actions and that lifestyle. And the one that's living has serious health problems today and issues. And I was the one that wasn't supposed to be here.
So what would you say, other than your son possibly being affected, is there anything that has left on you, like as a result? Like you said, he has health problems. Has it caused you any issues?
No, thank God.
Wow.
Thank God. And it's funny because it don't take much for me today to get excited and filled with the love of God and what He's done for me.
You get your high off of Him.
Exactly. People done less things than what I've done, and they're not here today.
Yeah.
Or their health is so, messed up and they're in bad shape.
How often do you share your testimony?
Well, often as I can.
As often as you can.
On the flip side of that, I'm on the NA meetings, for my first 10 years clean. Wednesday, the 3rd, I celebrated 23 years clean.
So, I mean, sitting here with you, it's very hard to believe, honestly, that you've been a drug addict for 24 years,
yes.
Honestly. So would you say your personality may be a lot different or about the same?
My personality is a lot different.
A lot different.
A lot different. I'm more outgoing, want to engage in people in conversation, smile, talk about the love of God and how He's blessed me. I was one of them addicts that worked most of my addiction. And I just had a supervisor that just liked me for me and that saved my job. Last June the 15th, June the 3rd of 2015, I was able to retire from the state after 33 years.
Wow.
So
you were able to keep your job, preserve yourself,
yes,
and still make it out.
Yes.
And what I love about it is that, you do give glory to God for it. You're not saying, I did this.
No way. I could not have done this on my own.
Yeah, and He's kept you for a reason, apparently. Like, He had to have kept you for a reason. And so, what would you say to encourage another person that may be going through what you experienced, that can't make it out?
Don't give up. And pray and believe that God will deliver you from that.
So it's basically just really getting to that point where you've had enough and then praying.
You have to have enough. You can't do it for nobody else but yourself. Like I said, people have died doing the same things I did. Close friends of mine died. But that didn't affect me. You know what I mean?
It was that jail that got you.
That 15
you was like,
years. The 15 years made me, I tell you, turn my guns in. And I'm going to call myself a little stick-up kid back then, you know what I mean? And I turned a stick-up kid turning his guns in. It started clicking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't give up and just pray, and ask God to deliver you from it. He will do that. He will give you the desires of your heart.
And what would you say for if you were to meet someone's family members who, they're the family members of an individual who has issues, what would you say to them for those that may be judgmental, angry, what they're feeling? What would you say to them?
If it wasn't for the grace of God, that could be you. And it's still not too late.
Yeah.
You understand? It's still not too late for it to be you.
I didn't think of it like that. The shoe could be on the other foot.
And do what somebody did for me. They prayed for me, my grandmother and my mother. I'm grateful that I didn't die out there. They got a chance to see me become the man that they was trying to raise and the man that they knew I could be.
Right.
It makes a difference in my life.
Right. So how much different is life with pre what you were going through, how has God blessed you since you stopped?
Well, just allow me to retire off my job, engaging in people that's doing things that I'm doing, positive things.
You changed with that. So before you were hanging with people that was doing that, and now you're hanging with people that are doing better things.
Exactly,
Okay.
and planning for a future, I plan on retiring. I'm working at another job because I don't have the age. Another major distributing company in the world, and in 2 more years I plan to retire from there.
Okay.
So I'm just happy. I'm just happy that
I'm happy
my life has
for
changed.
you. Like your testimony has really touched me, and even if it's not physically drugs, people sometimes make other things their choice of drugs.
Exactly.
Even if it's not drugs or alcohol, it could be depression and other things. So, you have encouraged me, just to keep going no matter what life throws at me, because if God can make you look this good at 59, hallelujah. Not that 59 is old, but I'm just saying, like, I'm amazed. Like, you look well kept, and you worked the job for 33 years, retired from there. Now you're about to retire for another job. So I truly am happy for you. I'm glad that He has kept you, and I'm just excited for where you're going.
Thank you.
It's been very nice talking to you, Bobby.
Same here.
And now we have Larry. Hey, Larry.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Larry.
Likewise.
Likewise. So Larry, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have 7 siblings, 5 sisters, 2 brothers. I'm the middle son. I'm 60 years old. I have a daughter, 43, one 35.
Everyone.
And basically, I'm just, I'm a cancer.
You're cancer?
I'm cancer,
Okay. Are you a true cancer?
I'm a true cancer.
You're a true cancer? Okay. Okay.
Very true.
All right. So, Larry, what are some of the things that you have done?
That I've done?
Like, what has happened in your life? Were you ever drinking?
Tragedies. Tragedies, you saying? Oh, well, how about I kind of like, okay, well, my thing is, I have intolerance to alcohol. I could socially drink alcohol, don't bother me. I don't even like the taste of liquor, wine. I may drink wine now and then. My body loves heroin or even cocaine, drugs, or marijuana.
Okay.
I have experienced long-term abstinence from it. I enjoyed it. Somewhere along the line, I got lost. Lost my way and reverted back right to it. So now, in the present, I guess I can say I'm straggling the fence. Every morning I wake up, I'm faced with a choice, whether to use or not. I've always been afraid of habits, being addicted to something. So cocaine is my problem because it's not addictive. It's take the other things, but it's not. I'm afraid to be physically addicted to something. I don't like commitment to anything. You know what I'm saying? That's
Okay. So, how old were you when you first tried?
14.
14? And what did you try at 14?
I was injecting heroin at the age of 14 before I go to school in my bathroom.
Okay. So, what was, if you don't mind me asking, what was going on in life at the age of 14 for you to decide, you know what, I want to try this drug?
Well, it was a peer pressure. We had just moved from East Baltimore in 1968 during rides, and we moved to Park Heights, and it was beautiful, but the people was a little more cunning, and and I ran around the gang. We didn't hurt anybody. It was just little kids,
Okay.
And we all 8 of us tried it at the same time. And we didn't know anything about snorting. Nobody said that we can snort this drug, Lack of understanding, lack of knowledge about it. So we had got a heroin addict, and we all put together $1 piece. We bought $8 bag, 8 of us, and and he gave out that one bag of heroin. We all got high. So it was peer pressure for me.
Mhm.
I just wanted to do what they were doing.
Yeah, kids try things.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like you were really going through anything.
Right.
It was more so we're kids, we're
Right.
hanging out,
Right.
and then someone said, "Hey, let's try this heroin." so
always
so it
bored.
was the cool thing to do.
Right.
And
Exactly.
then, how did you feel that first time that you had it?
Well, like anything else, like a cigarette, anything, my body rejected it, you know.
Mhm.
And like, I even tried drinking. Most of my close friends I come up with, they all would drink wine like this Wallace Rose or Thunderbird. And I didn't never like the feeling of being dizzy, you know.
Okay.
I couldn't stand it, so I just.
So-
I didn't-
Heroin doesn't make you feel dizzy.
Well, heroin gave me confidence, you know. I was always a shy person as a teenager. Couldn't talk to girls, and even guys. I was always a quiet type person. I was more or less an introvert, so like.
So it made you the man?
I ain't got nothing. That's a common story for most addicts, you know.
Okay. Gotcha. So, but the first time that you tried it, you said that your body rejected it. You
Yes.
obviously didn't like the way that it made you feel the first time. So what made you say, you know what, I'm going to go get me some more of this heroin? What made you do that? Peer pressure still? Or?
Peer pressure again.
Mhm.
Always wanted to be accepted.
Mhm.
Sometimes I struggle with acceptance now, you know, with others. You know, that's a different story. But you know, as far as my social behavior, I still kind of suffer about getting acceptance. I have to validate myself 2-3 times a day, and that's not normal, you know. You know, validate.
I'm not going to say it's not normal. I think that different people actually experience that. I would say even myself, there are plenty of times that I'm like, am I good enough? You know, I question myself. And so it's just a matter of how I choose to handle it. And sometimes I will excessively eat. You know, I have, you know, everyone has what they cope with. But the thing is, I've never tried heroin, so at the end of the day, you know, food tasting all good, give that to me, I'm gonna eat it up. You know, I feel good off of that. But I wouldn't want you to feel like you need, first of all, you don't need validation from anybody. You know, God validates who you are. And you know, when He created you to be amazing. He actually created all of us in His image. And I know I don't want to sound like that, but it's actually true. And so that's what I also have to remind myself a lot of the time, that, you know, it doesn't matter what no one say about me. I know who I am, and I know who God created me to be. And even sometimes easier said than done, but one day I just had to wake up and say, you know what, I don't need validation from anyone. And so, you know, you are Larry, regardless if you take that drug or don't take that drug. You're still Larry. You're still the man. You know, what I've heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times, because I've taken alcohol, you know. So what I've heard is with drugs, you know, you may say that it makes you feel like you're the man per se, but I believe that it just gives you the confidence to do things that you probably wouldn't do if you were sober per se. So at the end of the day, you just have to keep that same, you have to remind yourself that I'm confident regardless, and just kind of run with it. You know what I mean? So what effects of using heroin did it have on your family and people closest to you?
Well, I lost a sibling, direct results of heroin. You know, she died of AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
I have two sisters died of AIDS. One got high in moderation, one didn't. I've been diagnosed for 22 years. But yet the Magic Johnson was diagnosed, and my soulmate passed away because I didn't think she took it serious. You know, I tried everything I can, you know, to her to get treated.
Mm-hmm.
And she was introduced to heroin at a late part of life, and I just met her at the age of 21, and the streets took her, you know, the lifestyle took her. I was always work orientated. I was forced to live alone. I've been a bachelor for a lot of years, and I remember Well, her daughter right now, it's not my biological daughter, but my soulmate that passed away. Her daughter's 34, and she thinks I'm a father. She really think I'm a father. I met her mother. She was at a young age, and I always act like me. But yeah, it's sometimes it's a sad thing when a person don't know. You know, you tell them, you know, along with they feel healthy and they think they're invincible, you know. But for some reason, I took it. I'm early diagnosed. This may help somebody when they say, I notice a lot of commercials, they always say the early diagnosis is prevention. It helps longevity of life, you know. I think I was probably contracted it a month. They had the pre-test sites just open up. It was strange. I knew my lifestyle, you know. But I'm gonna live with it, you know. Sometimes it gets hard. From time to time, you know. My family accepted it. You know, they don't hide. They don't put plastic in the corpse. I've heard stories of mothers. I have a good support group, you know, when it comes to that. And it's noted that it's therapeutic to make mention of it from time to time because mental health and stress follow right behind it. You know, so the doctor will tell you that you got to open up sometime, but choose your time. You know. I don't care what people think, you know, but now I gotta live with Larry. You know.
Oh, okay. So remember you said that.
Yeah.
You don't care what people think.
I always use protection, you know. I'm very stable on that. And when it gets time that I slip, I'll just stop. So, you know, because I think that, like, I had longevity years of clean 10, as a matter of fact, you know, concurrent together. And what sent me back out there is HIV, you know, and go up my head again, you know.
Oh, okay.
But there's no excuse now because I've been living too long, 23 years.
That's a blessing.
I'm like, okay, let me find another excuse to use. None at all.
No excuses at this time. What would you say to encourage someone else or to actually to prevent someone else from going down that path? Someone that may be experiencing, you know, getting ready to go through possibly becoming addicted or who may be addicted.
I lost a lot. Family, good health, jobs, you know, gainful employment. I'm not talking about, you know, I've lost myself, mental health deteriorating. So I would say that if you don't care anything about yourself, you know, you can go ahead and it's just a short-term euphoria. You know what I'm saying? It don't last, and it's aimed for people with low self-esteem. You know, and you got that. So the only way to beat low self-esteem, I guess, the problem, I guess, come with a dream. Like I hear others say, I watch a show before. You know, you have to have a goal, a purpose. You know, and that's it. You just idle, and you're gonna fall for anything, basically. You know.
Wow, you have definitely encouraged me. So what would you say to like the family members of others who maybe, you know, have an addict in their family?
That's easy. You know, you could try to create a dialect, you know, and let them work, because addiction is a very powerful thing. But I believe in, you know, always give a person an uncomfortable look. You know, some of them say a word, you know, because addicts, we have like I say, we introvert people, and we have a conscience, you know. You could look at a person, just a family member, you can just give them a look, dissatisfaction look, you know, but don't reject them, you know, just accept them. It's not them. You know, most people I know that I recovered with, that I have for a long time, really nice people, you know. Nice to them. Some people never use drugs, and like really caring people. They just don't care about themselves, you know what I'm saying? But yes, that's what you have to stick with. My family stuck with me through thick and thin. I do reciprocate love back, you know, but when I can, you know what I mean? I do. And they didn't know that you're a genuine nice person. You really are. It's your behavior. The drug make you like that.
I totally understand that. So I know that you said, you know, when you wake up in the morning, it's like, am I going to stay on the right path, or am I going to go on this path? So what motivates you? What do you use to, when you wake up in the morning, to say, you know what, I'm not doing it? What motivates you?
Being around people that, for instance, keep it playing. I have to be around. I'm around next to Mark, for instance. I guess getting out of the house or being creative. Not just idling. I have to do something. Sometimes just put on some clothes and take a bus ride. Seriously, I mean, I have found all types of defense mechanisms, but actually, it's coming to a point where I have to just return back to the rooms and be around the ones that. Your company is very important. The company you keep with your associates.
Absolutely.
I don't have a friend, I just have associates, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I got to learn to be my best friend. But actually, it's an inside-out thing. You have to internalize a lot of stuff. It's a serious degree. You can, if you want the key, it's very insidious. Always changing, It could. Well, dictionaries with me. I could be somebody else at any given day.
Absolutely.
I'm hiding, I mean, I could be a intellect, I could be a man, I could as opposed to being Larry, because I think people won't accept me, I mean, even at my age now, 60, so I suffer from bipolar, I've been diagnosed. I have manic episodes and I have depression episodes. I can't get out of bed for sometimes 2 days, but it's just, I want to live,
My mom actually says that everyone suffers with a piece of bipolar. So, especially women. One day we wake up like this, and one day we wake up like that. You never know what you're going to get. We have multiple personalities. So, well, I just want to let you know that the things that you've shared with me, you're not alone in the things that you go through. I know it may feel like it. It may feel like someone doesn't understand, someone has not experienced what I've experienced, but I promise you, we all go through needing validation from time to time. We all go through, especially, I can't speak for men, but women, we definitely go through, I feel this way one day, and then the next day I feel this way. And then depending on where we are in life, once a month, we end up being totally different. I can be sitting there one way, then I can be like, why am I angry? I just go through different things. But, I hope that you can stay encouraged. I understand you said that you can be your best friend, but I know that God can really be your best friend. And some people say, well, how do I make God my best friend? And then people say, pray, or how is it that I do that? Sometimes just waking up in the morning and saying, hey, God, thank you for waking me up in the morning. It doesn't need to be a deep prayer. It could be simple. Hey, God, I just want to thank you for waking me up this morning. I thank you for creating me with purpose. I thank you for, what it is that you have in store for me. And sometimes when you speak those things positively as well, it will begin to come from the inside to the outside and manifest itself.
Bring it to existence.
Bring it into existence. So all I'm saying is, when you wake up in the morning and you have that thought, I don't know if I want to do this or I don't know if I want to do that. Skip that. Don't even let that be your first thought. And if you need to write a note and put it beside your pillow, I want your first thought, or the first thing that you read, to be, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. It's a reason why He's preserved your life for this period of time. Like you said, you were diagnosed early, 20-something years, and you still sitting here like nothing happened. You know what I mean? So, that's only God. And so I would just say, hey, God, thank you for waking me up this morning. And like I say, it doesn't have to be all deep and spooky, in the name of Jesus, and because, that's, some people do that. They're like, you need to pray. You need to get a prayer through. But no, you can just simply speak to Him. And if you make Him your first thought, then it'll be difficult to have that struggle. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying the struggle won't be there, because I can't speak for it. But I know that I've experienced things. You know what I mean? So allow that to be your first thought. And I trust God that if you do that, it'll be, I don't know if I'm going to do that today, because that won't be good. You know what I mean?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And I hear that you're talented. Tell me what it is that you do.
Well, I renovate. Basically, I specialize in carpentry and ceramic tiling.
Oh.
Maintenance, general maintenance period.
Okay.
Bathrooms and kitchens. I can bring a person's kitchen and bathroom into the millennium if it's old, you know.
Okay.
Anything like that.
Okay, so you're
I'm pretty
talented.
handy, yes. I have tools, you know. I was lacking in transportation, but it never stopped me. I usually get there.
Mhm.
You know, I just finished a job out of Randallstown.
Okay.
I live in the city, so I have a car, a truck.
And God will make a way.
Yes.
Mhm. Well, we definitely need to support you and use you, okay?
Right.
Because there's a reason that you're here, and so someone will be blessed if you redo their kitchen or whatever else it is that you can do, tile, whatever. Okay, well that's pretty dope. Thank you so much for watching today. Today's story definitely touched my heart, really. You know, this hopefully what the men were saying today will encourage you to stay on the right path. You know, we all seek other things sometimes to validate who we are, to get us out of depression and whatever else we may be experiencing in life. But you know, whether your choice of drug may be alcohol, actual drugs, or even, you know, eating too much like myself, whatever it may be, just remember that, you know, our problems may feel big, but God is bigger. And so don't allow those things to affect you. And I don't really have much to say because they said it all. And I just hope that today's show will encourage you to get on the right path and to do everything that God has actually for you. And so thank you so much for watching today.